things go on. So before we even get started, let's just get a little soft conversation going on here, kind of let people come in, get warmed up. I'm going to let you know right now the way this is going to work is it's F1 Minute. It's a live talk show. It's more about you than it is about me. That means that I'm giving a portion of my platform for you to come on, verbally and visually say what do you have to say, give opinions, maybe debates, maybe perspectives on anything related to the topics we're talking about. Even sometimes we get off topic, but the only way you can really do that is you have to have a laptop, desktop, come into the audience via the link in the description or the live chat, which it is pinned. Once you get in, you'll be able to submit your question, do a live call in. I'll pick up that call. You'll come onto the screen. You'll have your F1 minute, 60 seconds. And then bada bing, bada boom, we're on to the next. So we at least run 4 segments going in between, but we have something special going on today. If you were present during finale lap, which is the live highlight race after the Austrian GP or any other GP, you should have been able to go ahead and you do the super chat. So when you did the super chat, your name went into a data pile. And in that data pile, what happened is I decided that I was going to take names from there and enter them into a list. So in that list, you were going to be able to go ahead and be put into a basically like a raffle. It was going to go into a raffle. All right. So in that raffle, we're going to go in and we're going to go ahead and spin a wheel for people to get the purple collection hats. That's what's going to happen. Purple collection hats. So we should be good. Hopefully YouTube usually is like jacking us up. They usually jack us up here. And we usually have some issues with YouTube, but we're going to hope that YouTube will cooperate today and we shouldn't have any issues. Let's hope that that doesn't happen. So right off the rip, let's go ahead and talk about our soft topics. All right. Our soft topics are, and I see so far in the chat, who pulled into the chat first? Mary Beanie was here first, very first. She was here early. So big shout out to Mary Beanie, first person in the live chat. Early bird gets the worm. All right. See some other family members in there. Blue Diva, Baraka. Who else we got in? I see we got Laura Chaos. I see we got Trey in there. I see we got family member in Ma Galacticus. The Wildcat is in here. And Wildcat, I saw it in the Discord group. He's saying, I'm bringing some damn receipts. My brother said he's bringing receipts. And I see Will I Am is off in here. So big shout out to that. So soft topic. Let's go ahead and just jump this thing off. All right. Now, between each segment, what I'm going to do is I am going to spin a wheel. All right. Let me show you this wheel. I'm going to go ahead and show you the wheel that's going to be spent. I'm going to spin this wheel between each segment. We're going to have 4 people that are going to have an opportunity to win Purple Sector's lifestyle hats. All right. So with that being said, you know what's going on. You see the wheel. When that wheel pops up, be ready. It's going to get spun and we will see who will be the first person to get one of these awesome hats. All right. And then that thing will be sent out to you free of charge. You don't pay shipping. You don't pay anything. It's all good. It's on me. All right. Because you support the channel. You've been here. You're loyal. And I love giving things away. OK, so let's just talk about Aston Martin for a minute while people still kind of pour in and kind of get used to what's going on. And some people are late. Aston Martin decides to launch a protest and Car says, I am ready to take my Toto slams. Oh, shit. Yeah, we got that one up first. I might have did an alley hoop right there for D. He's like, I'm ready to take that. So Aston Martin launches a protest, right? Really, I wish I could say that this protest was something that was done for the betterment of the sport in all teams. But I don't feel that way. I don't really think it was. I don't think it was done for the betterment of the teams or everybody else. I think it was kind of something just to benefit them. And it did benefit them. But what they did wasn't necessarily wrong. I mean, we have to hold the FIA accountable. What their motives were is another thing, but what the outcome is something else. And I think that teams in those situations should do that. It wasn't like they tried to highlight just one specific team. They were just saying that while you were penalizing drivers, there were other drivers that did equal or more exceeding track limits and you didn't penalize them. And I got to go with that. And that's something we're going to talk about later in the show. But the soft talk is just about, oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, definitely. Will, I am coming on. And we're going to let Will, while you come on, go ahead and do the WPPN and do that. And let's go ahead and take care of that. So here we go. Will, I am coming in. WPPN host. Here he goes. Will, I am, my brother. Go ahead. Give me a mic check.
1, 2.
1, 2. We in.
All right. So I wanted to just run off some of the career highlights for Delano Van Toff
All
And
right.
again, because I know it's a tragic situation that happened, but I wanted to kind of highlight the more positive things from his career that hasn't really been spoken on. We all talked about the accident, but kind of like, let's talk about the lead up to where and how he got to Formula Four and that type of thing. So we
Right.
do know he tragically passed away at the age of 18, but he was in his early karting years. He was able to get in third place in the IAME, which is Italian American Motorsport Engineering. He was in third place for that in the X30 Junior Kart category. 2019, he won the 48th running of the Trofeo dell'Industria in the original kart, the OK class, which used to be the KF2 Karting World Championship. He did that with Forza Racing. Let's see, second place as well that year with the Formula 4 UAE Championship, and he was driving for Excel Motorsports. And then 2021, the big one, Formula 4 Spanish champion, driving for MP Motorsport. And that's, of course, the link to MP Motorsport. So I wanted to just highlight some of those things as far as his career and all that. Thoughts and
Definitely.
prayers, sending healing energy to the family, his friends, and all that that are going through this tragic time.
Definitely.
Now, as far as the WPPN, we're going to do the WPPN Awards. This is the seventh annual WPPN Awards. The first six weren't televised, but this is the first one that's televised. So we're going to go through the WPPN Awards
All right.
for basically based off of this last race of the Austria GP. A lot of things that we can talk about. So our first award,
All right.
Best Artist Award for Coloring Outside the Lines. Most track limit penalties. And I've got the results right here. Just through here. It's not a
Most.
driver.
Oh,
It's actually not a driver.
Oh,
It's the track stewards. The track stewards for handing out a record-breaking 197 lap time deletions over the entire GP weekend, rivaling Oprah Winfrey's record of handing out 276 keys to Pontiac G6s to her entire studio audience. Congrats to them. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed here at WPPN.
not at all.
Our second award, our Humanitarian Award,
Okay.
giving back to the driver community. And again, it's the Austrian track stewards for giving hometown hero Max Verstappen no further action on all impeding and dive bombing incidents. Congrats to them. Congrats to them. We know, we see their humanitarian efforts. Doesn't go unnoticed here. Our next award, Best Actor Award. Most moaning, groaning, and sassy racecraft. And there's no runner-up or anything. It's just Max Verstappen for impeding Lewis Hamilton, impeding Kevin Magnussen, and dive-bombing Sergio Perez. Congrats to Maximilian Verstappen, Officer of the Order of Orange Nassau from the Netherlands. Congrats. Congrats. You did your thing. There you go.
Right.
Our next award, the Sassy Chatty Patty Award. Most radio communications during the race. The defending champion who had this award before was George Russell. But we're going to give this one to Lewis Hamilton for receiving a 5-second time penalty from the stewards and then going full snitch mode and calling out everybody on the grid for track limits and checking in lap after lap to see if whether or not they were actually going to get track limit penalties. Congrats to
Right.
Lewis Hamilton for the first time winner of this award. First time winner. And our final award, this goes to the best quality kickback trivia performance.
Ooh.
I have these results here. And the winner, Baraka G. Baraka G coming in for the win on.
Oh.
Hold on, wait. Oh, they're trying to Steve Harvey me here. They're trying to Steve Harvey me here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the runner-up. I've
The
got it here.
runner.
That's the runner-up. The winner is Chaos Druid, who got three points, took the win. I don't know why we read off Baraka G, but you know what? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so that's not a win. I couldn't tell you. But congrats to Chaos Druid for that win and taking the quality kickback trivia win. I
Say
think those
that
are all
fast
the
three
awards we
times.
have. So let's get to our sponsor, Winifred's
got?
Whiskey. Made in Waterford, Ireland, the birthplace of whiskey. It's a well-known fact that unlike Williams, with their .com era facilities, old facilities, Winifred's Whiskey invested not only hundreds but thousands of euros into their infrastructure. And the proof is in the proof. The proof is in the proof. Proof whiskey. That's... All right, I'll see myself after that. That was a bad joke. So, yeah. Winifred's Whiskey. Don't ask why. Ask why not. Robert F. Kennedy, don't ask why not. These Irish whiskeys, Yeah, I'll definitely see myself after that one, Jay. Sorry, back to you.
Thank you very much, brother. Good job. And we had a different sponsor this time, but I'm telling you right now, my sponsor so far of the best is DRS Chicken. And don't make any black jokes. That ain't funny. I do like chicken, though. I rotisserie chicken, baked chicken. I try to stay away from fried chicken, grilled chicken, chicken wraps. It's good in protein. Why not? So, hey, next soft topic is Aston Martin is, doing what they do, but the next soft topic is McLaren. How do you feel about them coming out with the chrome livery, celebrating their 60th? They're going to launch it at the British GP Silverstone. Ran it from 2006, 2014. Lewis Hamilton majorly contributing to that team during his span there. One of drivers to bring multiple championships in different teams. Constructors, how about that? Some drivers cannot say that, but yes, I would like, what do you think about the chrome livery coming? I think it looks dope. I like it. I think it looks very dope. I'm really feeling it. I think McLaren has definitely, they've done their thing with that. I'm really feeling that, and I can't damn wait to see it actually on the track. I really can't wait to see it actually on the track. I'm hoping it really turns out good. And, we're gonna see how they perform, though. This past week, I think McLaren did a pretty decent job. At least Lando did good. I think Pia kind of fell off just a tad there, according to his regular performance, but still not too bad for McLaren overall. Lando, the first snitch at the Austrian GP, by the way, he just went full snitch mode right out the gate, came out the block so hot. It was crazy, snitching on Lewis Hamilton. Meanwhile, he's getting told that he don't need it. Matter of fact, Lando came so far off track, I had a picture. I ain't gonna even show you. I ain't gonna show Lando. Pay attention to the slideshow up here. It'll come up. You'll see Lando was completely off track, but it happens. All right, I think they all got kind of frustrated with what's going on. But the truth is this: there are a couple of good things that happened there. I do know that it was excessive, the penalties, but before I get into that, let me check the all super chats. D-Car, Mary Beanie, Snitchgate. Why did MaxiPad get 0 penalties? And I think MaxiPad got 0 penalties because they didn't note how many times Max Verstappen broke or exceeded track limits. All right. When I showed you one chart, Max clearly outplayed Perez at least by one time. So it's going to be kind of hard, and we'll get into that later on in the other segment, because we're going to talk about the Austrian GP and the track limits, and I know you all probably have a lot to say about it. Do not forget, the call link is in the description and it's in the live chat. Hit that desktop, laptop, you're in the game, time to come on. So right now, let's get into our first segment. Our first segment is Toto Wolff, team principal, or should he just stick to CEO roles? Okay, we had a situation. We know we had the W13, the W14. Those were situations with that, not sending any, gunshots necessarily Toto's way, but I'm just saying, I think we know that there were some ill-advised decisions made that probably should not have been made, and Toto was part of those decisions that definitely didn't play themselves out well. So I think it's only right for some people to probably question Toto, but I totally get it. Totally get it. I totally get it where people are saying, no, Toto can do it. Everybody deserves a dry spot, a slump. Jefferson says the FIA was happy to change the results after the checkered flag on Sunday, but couldn't change the results of AD21 when rules were clearly broken. Why do I bother investing time into this sport anymore? That is something real and really to be said. That is a hot bar right there. That is a hot bar. That I think we've seen on more than one occasion, even this season, where there's no reason why they could not have corrected themselves in 21 or the results due to what in the circumstances that happened. There was a lot of things that were not right there, and it is just crazy for them not to correct it. And sad to say, I don't believe they're going to correct it, and they're not correcting it because Max Verstappen, I think they're definitely happy with having a different face as a current champion, not a great champion, and not even one of the greatest drivers as of yet. not look like Lewis Hamilton, or maybe not have Lewis Hamilton. What they did was wrong, and then I do think in some part of them to admit that out in public and to go ahead and just make it all change. Some people don't like swallowing their ego. They don't like swallowing their pride, and they'd rather continue it wrong than go back and make it right and take that pie in the face and wipe it off and continue on with life, and that's just a fact. So, yeah, that was a very good one right there, Jefferson. That was a hot one. So, Toto, W13 crap, W14 crap, on its way up from not being crap. The Austrian GP, it kind of scared people. Like, is it going back to crap? Now a lot of people are waiting for Silverstone with these updates and to then show upgrades. Uno coming in. He says Toto should stay where he is and keep working with the team. I got you. Let's let my bro come in. He going to have his F1 minute. Let me get a sound check, brother, man. Let me get a mic check from you.
1 2 1 2. Am I
1
good?
2. We in it. Let's roll, brother.
Right. Greetings, everybody. Happy Monday. And also, I want to say, like, Toto should stick to what he's really doing, because the major thing is he brought the team. He worked the team along with him and the late, great Nicky. God bless. Right? If it hadn't been for him, how far would they have gotten? How far would they accomplish? How far would they achieve? And most importantly, how near are they nearly to beat Williams? You know, they could have beaten Williams. But the only thing that they did was, just because of the new concept car coming in, is getting the new modification working. And it's not only him alone. You see the other rest of the teams apart from one. So Toto shouldn't be sweat, pressured, nor even, told to be like stepping down, step aside, give himself some time to go and play with the kids. Because he even had that interview with Natalie Portman and said the same thing. But the only problem was, he still enjoys doing what he's doing, because him and James Allison said that he is the greatest guy that I ever worked with and brought such a great joy to the team, that this is how far they have accomplished and should never ever stop working together. So he's a guy that fits with the team. He's the man that brought this team along with the Nicky, but this guy should never give up, because he is just like Lewis, determined to get the team to where they are and be accomplished as world recognizers.
Big shout out, brother. Okay, I got a quick question with you before I let you go. Let me ask you this. I just responded to somebody today. They said Lewis Hamilton needs to retire. How do you feel about people constantly saying Lewis needs to retire, but nobody mentions anything about Alonso retiring? Give me your quick thought on that before I let you go.
You want to know my thoughts?
I do.
They should do like what's up, one of the Muppets? Zip up and shut up, right? Zip up and shut up. Because as far as they can say, everyone should be retiring. Look what happened when Kimi was still there. Look what happened when now you got Alonso that's still going. So, like you said, why did not say, Alonso, step off and let some new cat come in, right? Why not say that to Alonso? But no, they don't want to say that, because the only problem is they fear Lewis. They fear that this guy is going to accomplish so much, just like how they were fearing Schumacher. But they never said to Schumacher to step off, did they?
Right.
So, as you and I both are brothers, man. So we know one thing: what those people can say. Let them all say like they're brushing their teeth. All right. Let them all keep using what they can use as dental floss all the time. But the most important thing is they still got rotten teeth and they can't smile properly. So I say to them, zip up and shut up.
Shut up. Roger that, brother, man. That's my brother, my twin. Hey, I had somebody literally say, I've had plenty of people say that, right? Like Lewis Hamilton needs to retire, yet nobody is like campaigning for Alonso to retire, and he's got the longest career right now on the grid. It just shows your biasness, right? It shows your double standards and your biasness, like so loud it's not even funny. You when you say that, but you don't campaign the other way, you look totally damn ridiculous. So yeah. So another thing is key personnel, right? Do some of you feel, now remember, this show is more about you than it is about me. Like, if you let me go through these topics, I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna give away hats, because it's why I got them. Wolfpack swag, purple collection hats, ready to go. We will start. The first person to get one will be soon after this segment. So don't just, hey, this is the platform for you to go talk. I'll talk all week and the weekend. I'm looking for your perspective, your opinions, your debates, your words, all right? This is for you. So key personnel. Do some of you feel like Toto maybe didn't do right with the personnel? We know, James Allison, we know Mike Elliott, we know some personnel had to leave due to the cost cap and other teams picked him up? Did he do a good job of trying to fulfill those roles? Better, and even more importantly, did Toto drop the ball or kind of mishandle Valtteri his exit? Should Toto have done a little bit more to get Valtteri to stay and still bring Russell in as a reserve driver? And maybe things could have been different. Maybe not. Maybe there's nothing Valtteri could have done as far as the implementation or the input of the car. If you don't listen to Lewis, why would you listen to Valtteri, right? But is there also something to be said about the ability of Valtteri to probably give or help develop the crappy car moving forward versus Russell? So that's something I want to know. And Wildcats coming in. So Toto keep Lewis in check better than anyone. Here we go. Ooh, that's kind of spicy. I kind of want to know where he's going to go with that one. All right, brother, man. Let's go, my brother. Let's roll.
All right, so when I say Toto keeps Lewis in check better than anybody, look at the reason why Lewis even came to that team in the first place. It was because of Nicky. Nicky passed, but Toto was still there. Who the hell does Lewis lean on when shit gets tough? He leans on Toto. He looks at Toto the same way he looks, damn near the same way he looks at his own damn father. So Toto, when Toto came across the radio and told Lewis, just please chill, drive the car, we know it's bad, I'm sorry. Lewis went silent. Why? Because he understood that, hey, he's not the only one feeling that frustration. As far as this whole, did Toto screw up the personnel? Valtteri would have been the better person to keep. Valtteri came from Williams, just like Russell. But Valtteri also showed a lot better and stronger character than Russell has shown in his time. Russell got his head big in 2020 when he got to drive the W11 and then got that win pissed on, that win that he should have had pissed on. Right. So naturally, Lewis, paid him back for that in Brazil last year. Russell need to sit his ass down and chill the fuck out. Valtteri, he still got it. Scenery to actually do what he do. Okay, brother, man. Hey, I'm telling you, my brother said he breaking some receipts today. Y'all better hold on tight because he gonna be back. He gonna be back. Trust me, he coming back. I promise you, he's coming back. So this is what I got to say, and that was a good example. A good explanation he gave to another reason why Toto is valuable. I think Toto is valuable. I think I see a lot of people starting to wonder and question Toto, and I still can't blame them for it, because at the end of the day, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and Toto has to take that. But I think Toto still is the man for the job. Now, is there something there where maybe Toto should share those responsibilities of team principal and maybe kind of not step aside, but say, hey, but I don't know, maybe. I guess we need to see. Just like the car needs time, Toto needs time, and he's earned that time. He's earned the right to have a bad season. Okay, look at how many great seasons they've had as a team and that he's been at the helm of. Come on, so I do think he deserves that, but still he has to take responsibility for what is not. And we got a super chat, Mary Beanie coming in. Mercedes will be back at Silverstone. The car after the race went to Brixworth, and Toto has Lewis back, and James Allison has found out why RB is fast, why Red Bull is fast. I'll say this, finding out why they're fast is still not as important as knowing why they're fast. All right, like knowing exactly why and then being able to implement that into the car. And if you did find out why and how Red Bull have done what they've done, do you have the necessary financial means within the cost cap era to implement that this season? Or are we still talking about a car in 2024? So those are two things that we need to know. Is it financially feasible, and is it going to be something to implement this season or next season? So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people thought Austrian GP Lewis was going to take off, and it was totally not that. And those things happen. So we'll see what happens in Silverstone. Hopefully a better performance in Silverstone, even if it's not a race win. I would like to see a race win for damn sure. I would like to see a podium for damn sure. I'm glad. Hey, I said I wanted to see Charles get a podium. He got one, so I was good with that. And that's going to be another part of our segment that we're also going to talk about. So there are a lot of things that are going on. It's very mixed up right now. One thing that's not mixed up is teams, drivers, and the way they feel about Red Bull. And I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with a team winning. There's nothing wrong with a team being dominant. I think people have a problem because the way Red Bull have become dominant is not so clean, nor is it even like highly looked up on. And it is clearly a direct point and evidence that says everything that you've won under is no good. 2021, rules were broken. Regulations weren't in place right, or
processes weren't implemented right, regulations were broken, and you won a championship. Okay, then we come in, you win a championship 2022. It's off the back of 2021 because you breached the cost cap, and those things rolled into performance and why you are here. So I understand why people feel that way. I understand why I feel that way. It's only the truth and it's only fact. It's not something that's made up. That is something that's really true, something that's matter of fact. And then it also are people out there that say, hey, you know, other teams should breach the cost cap. Toto's one that said we're not going to do it. You know, I understand people saying breach the cost cap and do it so we can win, but Toto has said and is standing on integrity for his team, the factory, the brand of Mercedes, and said we're not going to do that. All right, we're going to do what we have to do what we've been doing, and we're going to find a way to be the great team of Mercedes that we have been before within this cost cap era and this ground effects era. And we will find a solution, and we will be back to compete for wins, if not championships. And I admire that. I respect that, and you have to respect that. But there is a such thing as dying on your sword, and when you die on your sword, you die on your sword, and then somebody's got to pick you up, put you in a box, put you in the ground, and we got to figure out how to move on, and that's just a true thing, too. So now we are coming to our first wheel spin to see who was going to get the first hat. Okay, these people were live for the finale lap, the race day highlight. If you haven't joined us on race day, we are live on race day, so join us. These people were here when I decided I'm going to go ahead and give away 4 hats. Anybody who gave a super chat, your name is in this list. I'm going to spin this wheel. The first name to get one, we're going to celebrate them just like we're going to celebrate everybody else. So let's get ready to go ahead and do what we got to do. And the first person to receive the hat is 70 Dodge Man. 70 Dodge Man is going to be our first person that is going to receive a Purple Sectors Collection Wolfpack hat. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. So we're going to close that. We will have another person back. We will do another wheel spin. That is our first person. 70 Dodge Man, make sure you contact me in the Discord. Give me your shipping address, and I will ship your Purple Sectors Lifestyle hat out to you. Yo, I love this. This is fun. I love giving stuff away. This is fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's just something I like to do. So 70 Dodge Man, don't know if they're in the chat. They're probably not in the chat, but we're gonna go ahead and we'll tag them. And we'll go from there. So big shout out 70 Dodge Man. So listen, let's get on to our next sector. But first, like you said, the radio transmission with Toto, Wildcat brought that up. Good job on that. That is a very good point. Let's go ahead and talk about our next segment. And our next segment is Red Bull ring limits. How did y'all feel about what y'all saw out there in regards to all the damn penalties? Listen, I did go back. All right, I went back and looked at this. Track limits. Drivers were frustrated. Okay. And I did not like, I can't say I didn't like it. And at the same time, I'm not going to say it was necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying it was a bit excessive, but it was excessive because people were reaching track limits. All right. If you don't break track limits, then I guess they don't have anything to hang you up on. All right. I don't like to use that as a black man, hang you up on. I guess they don't have anything to penalize you for. Okay. But Turn 10 seems to be a doozy, and there were some people that were in favor of changing the track, and I am not in favor of doing nothing like that. All right, I'm not in favor of changing up the track. Sometimes these drivers are going to have challenges like Rubik's Cubes, and they're going to have to solve them. They need to solve them by honing in their driving skills, track to track to track. Wildcat says, let's chop these limits. Let's see what Wildcat's talking about. I want to know what he means in regards to chop the limits. All right, here goes Wildcat. F1 minute. Go ahead, my brother. You got it.
All right, so when I say I got receipts, yeah, I got the whole notes ready.
All right.
So when I say chop this up, these track limits, they got to go. I'm sorry, but if you look at F1 esports drivers, Lucas Blakely, Jano Otmar, two of the most recent champions when it comes to F1 esports drivers in general, these boys ride the limit on every track they race at. Even in the race, they are right there on the very edge of track limits. Right. But they don't break them. But when it comes to the Red Bull ring And I can honestly say this, even I have struggled when it comes to coming out of turn 10 and not breaking that limit. It happens. But when I just got a wild hair yesterday, and I went and rewatched Portugal 2020 when Lewis won, win number 92 on the board. In Portugal, turn 1, you can go all the way off on the curb and that's still track limits. So why you can't make that change for Austria? That's something that Toto actually brought out there. But Christian Horner, and as much as I despise that little bastard, but I can honestly say, Christian made a good point too. If they don't want to make the curb part of the track limits, then why not put a gravel trap right there? No driver wants to go in the gravel trap. Why? Because if you carrying that much speed through turn 9 and 10, which they're pulling at least 160 to 180 coming into 9 and 10, why are you going to put the rear end of that car in the gravel? Why? Because you're going to lose it and your ass going to end up in a wall. There ain't nothing that's going to stop that. You going through the gravel into the wall. So both sides got valid points, but why not change it to suit the track? If y'all got this many issues with track limits, go ahead and make that change. Prime example, let's look at this. After the race, we got Carlos Sainz going from P4 to P6. Haven't y'all beat this man down enough? Apparently not. You got Alonso benefiting, moving up to P5. You got Hamilton and Russell switching, so Russell can say, "Oh, I finished in front of Hamilton." No, you didn't. Shut your damn mouth and learn something, young pup. And then on the back end of that, you got Gasly dropping to P10. Lance moving up to P9. Who does that help? Aston Martin close up to Mercedes because they got a little bit more points out of it. And then on top of that, Ocon went down to P12. Albon and Sargent, even though they received penalties, they still kept. They 11 and 13. Kudos to my boy. Hey, we Americans, we can get up there in the midfield, do something. But and then on top of that, you got De Vries going from 15 to 17. As if your position wasn't bad, you just made it a shit ton worse. And then on top of that, you got Tsunoda, who pretty much, Tsunoda fucked himself from lap 1, trying to be greedy. He went from 18 to 19. So, bro, what you doing? You let De Vries finish in front of you, and then on top of that, you way at the back end of the grid.
Right.
So, what the hell is really fucking going on with these track limits? I want to know.
Okay, well, went off. I will say this, like the Carlos thing, he's been having a rough season. I'm gonna give Carlos that. He's been having a rough season. De Vries his season's abysmal. I'm big shout out to Logan Sargent, giving my boy Will his props. Logan Sargent, made him proud this weekend. Pia kind of let me down, but I've had enough up days to go ahead and hold this frown strong. So I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold the frown strong for you. But yeah, that was pretty bad. It does help Aston Martin, and of course they did it. But I will give Aston Martin this. They've been damn good with their packaging up of protests, and Mercedes needs to take note of how they're doing it. Because Aston Martin, their team, whoever is in charge of launching and packaging up these protests, I got to give them a shout out, because when they do these protests, matter of fact, I got to put my hands together for them. Big shout out to whoever's packaging up the protests for Aston Martin. You do one hell of a job, and if they ever fire you, you come join my legal team to be my lawyer, because I'm telling you, you be getting Aston Martin some props. You be getting them exactly where they need to be. Loving it. So I will say this. Also, Toto mentioned bringing the sausage curb in. I know people are very wish-washy and back and forth on the sausage curb as to safety because of the aerial launches that it can cause from cars, and we've seen some of these things happen. But at the same time, I think the gravel trap, kitty litter corner, as Will calls it, is a good idea. I think that there are some things, like he said with Christian Horner mentioning making the curb part of the track, but we got to be very careful with that. So then I guess if they go on the curb and then go completely off the curb, are we then giving them penalties for that? So it's I'm really more with the gravel trap, kind of like penalizing themselves if they exceed track limits, versus the sausage curb, which could create a safety problem.
and or making the curve part of it, which just becomes another gray debatable area. Uno is coming in. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. And no, I didn't. Uno's coming in, says Red Bull Ring seems to work for only their race hero. Let's go. Uno, tell us what you mean by that, brother, man. I'm going to start your F1 minute right now.
Yep. Here it go. Here I go. Right. The reason why I said that, the reason I watched it as well, and I see it seemed to be only set for the Red Bull team. When they go over their track limits, you don't see them get actually penalized. Although you get about 2 or 3 times they get a warning, right? But for the rest of the other guys who go onto that, is it turn 10? As soon as they pick up speed, next thing you know is that speed carry them in. So how the hell can they control that speed? Yeah, that speed is the actual advantage for them. And it happens to not only Lewis, it happens to other guys, and they keep getting like 5 to 10 to 15 to 20. And all that time of the track limit of five times on the penalty, nah, that's too much. So I feel that Red Bull Ring is just only targeting every individual, but hardly less on the Red Bull team. But that track, nah, they need to be actually cut that track down and let the other drivers them all race, because that's what the fans go for, not just only the orange fans. But weren't they banned from having flares? What the hell was that we seen?
Oh, that's a good one. That was a good one. Nobody said nothing about that. Will comes in. Red Bull racetrack limits. Let's go, Will. I am. Brother, before I start your F1 minute, man, congratulations on your rookie this weekend, brother.
Let me tell you, that was something, because I thought after they gave him that 5-second penalty, which Wildcat was alluding to, and they gave him the extra 5 seconds, give him 10 seconds total, which would have then promoted Joe to be in P13. But then here comes your boy Akon with the combo breaker with 30 seconds track limit penalty and moved his ass all the way down the grid to bring them back up to where they started. So yeah, that whole entire weekend was just a whole entire roller coaster of events from our boy Logan Sargent. Hey, that's my Sarge.
I like it. Go ahead, my brother. What you got?
So I think in terms of track limits, we know, of course, we've alluded to a lot of that stuff in WPPN, the record-breaking amount of track limit penalties and just lap times deleted and all that, almost 200 laps that were deleted. I think the biggest problem with this is we're supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport. F1's supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport, innovation, technology, and all that, but they seem to always hamper themselves with certain things that they could implement that would make this a whole lot easier. Sensors, they have sensors, they've got cameras and stuff installed into the tracks and all that. Sensors all over the cars. You could tell exactly where the tires are if you wanted to at every single track. Just make it so that every single F1 grade track, grade 1 track would have to have sensors everywhere to catch them on every single corner. So we're not just using eyes. Why are we using eyes at this point? It's still so subjective to do that. So that's why you start to see things like drivers complaining, wondering when they can actually see it, that people are going off and those laps aren't counting. So I think that if they just use sensors, which they already use anyway throughout the whole entire sport, it would make it a lot easier at every single track. But we'll see how that goes. And also, let's just give a shout out to the, I don't know what you call that thing. It was like super rocket powered, like Iron Man.
Hey, bro, that shit was funny as hell.
And he did it. He did it in J's. Do you see the J's?
J's and MJs.
My man was wearing J's. And how about this though? He stayed within track limits though. When he tumbled and fell, he stayed within track limits. So he might be the only person on the track that weekend that stayed within track limits and didn't get a penalty. Just saying.
Oh my gosh, bro! I was trying not to bring that shit up. Damn,
so bad.
It did. Oh my gosh, Baraka, come on, damn, Will, why you do it like that? Baraka, what's going on, bro? I'm gonna give you your F1 minute.
What's up?
Hey,
what's
man,
up?
hey, I gotta give you some props too. Logan Sargent did y'all proud this weekend, brother.
Of course, I was happy. Trust me.
What you got going on, bro? You got your F1 minute. What's happening?
Well, in regards to this whole Red Bull Ring tracks limits, I think you're on the side of Toto when he brought up sausage. And probably.
I think the sausage curve create a safety.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna talk about. Is like if Toto's winning sausage curbs, not knowing that ever since they've been implemented, nothing but bad and horrible stuff has happened.
Right.
You've seen in the lower categories, you got like Formula 2, Formula 3 cars just flying off, taking up like they're airplanes. Which, and by definition, they are airplanes, but they're meant to be sucked to the ground and all that. And you got, the infamous Hamilton v. Verstappen at Monza. Verstappen hit the sausage curb and he took off. Again, I just don't see it being a good safety thing to implement a sausage curb onto a very fast track, in particular, Monza, and especially at the Red Bull Ring. It's very fast. Like what you said, I think Sunday. It's a NASCAR ring oval with a few more turns. Exactly. Right. So you don't want that, So I'm all for favor with the gravel traps, just to prevent drivers from going over the edge too much.
I am too. Right. I'm in favor with the gravel traps myself. Go ahead, continue.
And with what Will said with the sensors, I think that could be a good idea too. Okay. I know there's cameras located in that particular corner to see where the turn limits are, but I'm just guessing at the board there was just so many offenses, i.e. Ocon. God knows what race you were racing, because 30 seconds? I know everyone is hampering about there's no way Max could get this the least amount of track limits while Hamilton got this much. But no one's questioning Ocon. Like, that's the real criminal there. What was he racing? Everyone should just focus on him. What was he doing? Was he doing the short track of it? What's going on, my guy?
Facts, bro. I have no idea, bro. Appreciate you, Baraka. That's facts. While Baraka brings up that point, I will say this, like, really, for real, before I bring Wildcat in, let me go ahead and and get these super chats in. Mary Beanie says Princess George was on my radar. Now I got snitched Lando. She got snitched though on her radar now. After Mary Beanie, we have Spider R35, our most recent VIP member. Welcome to the family. Proper thanks to the fam for all the VIP love. Wolfpack fam is the best. Cars are bigger and tracks don't change it. Bound to be more track limits. They never made the tracks complement the new cars, and that's a good point too. It's something that we also question. Like, Monaco is heavily questioned in that, and now I've even seen some people talk about the Red Bull Ring coming into that next. I am in favor of the gravel traps, not the sausage curves. I'm not in favor of drivers penalizing themselves in situations that could harm drivers. And we've seen plenty examples of the sausage curve that does create more of a safety issue. And I know drivers will go off, but I just think that's not the right way to go. Just like, we see evidence of that, but we've never seen evidence of a nose ring causing a safety hazard. Just saying, just bringing that up. So Jefferson says Marco and Horno with the collusion of Liberty, FIA, DTS, and Sky Sports F1 have done irreparable damage to what was once a great sport. Red Bull will go unbeaten. Listen, that opinion, I'm going to bring you on, Brother Wildcat. That opinion is shared among many. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of things that have taken place where it is not wrong for you to feel that way if you agree with that at all, because some of these things don't look right. And you know what a hassa is, Frank? You know what a hassa is? It's a pig that don't fly straight, Frank. That's the type of conversation that probably need to be held in the office right there. Pigs that don't fly straight. I'm trying to tell you. Wildcat is coming in. He says, who understood the assignment? Let's go, Wildcat. I'm going to let Wildcat tell you who understood the assignment. Let's go, brother. Bring up some more of these receipts. What you got?
All right. So when I say who understood the assignment, Leclerc understood the fucking assignment. Max had to work and get past Charles, right? But guess what? Did Leclerc drop a dime on Max anytime that Max may have busted track limits before Max got out of sight? No, he didn't. Charles kept his mouth shut. Carlos kept his mouth shut. How many times did Max bust track limits on Friday?
Oh, yeah.
And had them times deleted.
Right.
And then he probably did it Saturday too.
Yep.
But nobody caught it. Why? Because, he too damn far up the road. Nobody gives a fuck about what the hell Max doing down the road. They all worry about what's going on back here and squabbling going on with everybody else. Actually trying to fight.
Right.
Shit, Checo even got busted one time, a couple of times for track limits, but guess what? He tightened his shit up.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Prime, the plain point blank, Austria is a track more suited for cars with a strong front end, but you also need that rear to keep that rear planted so the driver can actually get that front end back within limits while the rear is still hanging out. What does Red Bull have? A well-balanced car that has a strong front end, just like Max likes, but it also has the ability, because of that floor, to be able to keep that rear end so well planted that Max can cut that front end back into track limits, literally pulling a teeter-totter. So when he hits that curve, the rotation of that car literally goes, oh, I'm going in, here's 9, and he literally is almost damn near, it looks like he can slide that car through the turn without losing an ounce of speed. So who really understood the assignment? Chatty Patty Norris, he didn't understand the assignment. You can't, shit, hell, I couldn't trust him in a street fight at this point. I was actually cool with Norris right up until this point right here. You want to go drop bombs and dimes on everybody. So after you drop dimes, now Lewis is dropping dimes, but nobody said a damn thing about Norris dropping shit.
Right.
It was all good. But Lewis started dropping petty about it and started putting dimes out there on everybody. Now, oh no, Lewis need to shut up. That's not right for Lewis to call people out. How the fuck is it right for this one to do it?
All right, brother. All right, brother. All right,
I'm
brother.
just saying.
I know, brother. Hold on.
Make it make sense. I'm all for equal opportunity.
My brother said, hey, we got a super chat. Hey, Taraka says, great show. I always comment, but never contribute. So here's my first one more to come. Hey, big shout out to you. Big thanks. Much love. I appreciate those that appreciate the show and the content and just the effort to work and go forward. And I appreciate you even saying that. That's big shit right there. Big shout out for that. Definitely feel free also to come on the show and give your opinion. This platform is for you too. This is all for y'all. Big shout out for real. You can do more than that. You come on and give your perspective, your opinion, just like everybody else. I love that. So yeah, I will tell you, drivers that exceeded track limits 6 or more times: Sainz, Lewis, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Sargent, DeVries, and Yuki. Ocon, I think, I want to say he might have had like 10. I want to say Ocon might have had like 10. And that is another point that I was going to hit that Wildcat also brought up. Is it that Max was so far ahead they just didn't pay attention to him? Because I'm telling you, Max had 4 or 5 exceeding track limits before. Like, you mean it? And I even told you before, in a GP, he had to be warned during a race that he was about to get black flagged for breaching track limits. And this wasn't even at the track limits breaching galore track. This was somewhere else in a race. So, and he was out in front. So I just really don't believe that Max didn't break track limits as much as at least 4 or 5 times. I just don't believe it. Just based off of what I've seen him do in the past. I'm just saying, based off that, I don't believe it. Not like speculation, tinfoil hat, based off what he did before the race in qualifying or in the sprint shootout, based on what he did at another track. Max exceeds track limits. He got warned over radio during a race about track limits. I do not believe that he only did once. I don't believe it at all. DG Big Blue says, Aston Martin called the cops on everyone. Go Navy, happy 4th. Hoorah. That's what I'm talking about, DG Big Blue. Big shout out, fam. Uno was coming in and said, Wildcat is right. There's too many snitches on there. Let's go, my brother. Tell us what you got to say on that, man. Tell us what you got to say.
I got to say a lot, man. And here we go. Ready on my time?
Go ahead. You got it.
I tell you, it was a joke fest out there. Seriously, joke fest. All I can hear from Lando one time, and I really wish they put a tape on his mouth and shut him up and let him carry on driving. Lando was, Lewis is going over the track. I can see Lewis going over the track limits. Don't you should get penalized for that? Yeah, don't worry. We got him. So when it happens that Lewis get his time, Lando's going over the track limits. What's going on? And they're going like, Lewis, just concentrate. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But Lewis was upset because Lewis was carrying speed. So it's not just only him, it's everyone else. You see it with Alonso, you also see it along with Gasly, you also see it along with Yuki. Yuki was even getting picked on, but The guy carry on, put his head down. Yuki just only said one word, like F it and go on.
Right.
And that was it, right? But the one thing I didn't like what they did, when they told Max to stay off and carry on driving, he wanted to get in the pits. And he took the time.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
He
We're going to talk
took the
about that.
time, but he don't deserve to do that. And that's a stupid thing. But again, what basically thing is, they should ban that track limits, man, and let the race run free.
Ooh.
Let it run.
And I'm free falling. That's what I'm saying, man. That song is the jam. That song's the jam. No, I can't sing it right, but I know you know what song I'm talking about, though. Guess what? It's that time again. We got to spin the wheel to see who's going to be the second person to get one of these purple sectors lifestyle hats. I got them right here in the swag bags. We're about to see who number 2 is. So let's see who that second person is. We're about to bring the wheel in. The wheel is in right here. I'm about to go ahead and spin that wheel. We're going to see what name comes up. The wheel is off. The wheel is spinning. And what do we have? Boom, Sylvia Wick Kelly. Sylvia Wick Kelly, second. And you know what? She was talking about a damn hat. She got one. Sylvia Wick Kelly. I'm telling you right now, even if she didn't get one, I was going to take care of her anyway because people can't be stealing a hat. Congratulations, Sylvia Wick Kelly. You are number 2 to get a Purple Sector's Lifehouse hat sent to you. Not a house. Lifestyles hat sent to you. Congratulations, Sylvia Wick Kelly. Big shout out. We're going to close that out. Come right back in. I wrote your name down. Make sure you get with me in the Discord so I can get that hat to you. Big shout out. So let me go ahead and put Sylvia Wick Kelly in the chat as a winner. And yes, indeed. Big shout out to Sylvia Wick Kelly. So that is our number 2 right there. We're going to have 4. We got 2 more left. We're going to have total 4. We got 2 more left. All right. We're going to get to our next segment. And our next segment, I mean, I think y'all going to probably tear this one up. Driver feud to the max. Hey, that was some dirty ass crap. That was dirtiness that they allowed Max to pull fastest lap off of the teammate Checo Sergio Perez. That was dirty. I mean, it was like, goodness gracious. Y'all doing that type of stuff. Y'all triple crashing up in here. I couldn't believe, and this is what I want to say. When you see that, all right, that right there tells you how they regard and how much they actually respect Perez. It tells you. I don't care. We've seen him plenty of times. Perez is going to win the race. Pull Max in so he can get fastest lap. Max win a race. Pull Perez in, maybe get the fastest lap. Max literally called to go in for fastest lap to pull it off of his teammate. I'm telling you, there is a driver feud within Red Bull. The only difference is, and I'm going to tell you, Checo, hey, some of your Mexican brothers and sisters ain't happy with you, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Coming from a town raised, grown up with, participated with, played sports with, played in the streets with, did other things with, some things we ain't gonna talk about with. I know they ain't happy. None of my bros around there would have settled for none of that. I'm telling you right now, Max would have had some problems. I'm trying to tell you right now, had he done some of the things to some of the people I know that are very proud people that he has done and said about you and your family, Max would not be talking right now. I'm telling you, he wouldn't have had no choice but to have his zipped up. Perez took a stand that we saw, right? He went ahead, raced Max hard. Max went automatically to crying. Did y'all realize that? Did y'all see that? Max automatically started crying when Perez did to him what we've seen Max do to so many other drivers, including and especially Lewis Hamilton. Max went so far that, matter of fact, Max might have been the first snitch in the big cooperator. Not only was he crying about it, he called to have Perez called into the principal's office and try to get him penalized about it. That was funny. And Will Buxton said it best. If Max Verstappen is going to dish out what he does, he has to be able to take it to. And Max has shown you all He cannot take what he dishes out. And I'm telling you right now, just off evidence, just off visually seeing it, Max is going to turn into the pumpkin that he has always been. Oranges the people that support him to the deepest core. And he will cry. He will throw a hissy fit once other teams and drivers get cars that are just as competitive as the RB19 or the RB20. If they ever do, they may not. So he might not have to worry about it. But if they do, you're going to see the true, real baby crybaby Max Verstappen come out. And that's why his fans be trying to call y'all crybabies, because that's what they are. Usually, you try to enforce upon other people what you have deficiency about yourself. Happy 4th of July, Jay, and us family members from Mary Beanie. Big shout out, Mary. Bringing Uno wins. Says, why ain't Checo ever gonna be treated fair? Let's go. Hey, Uno, why don't you tell him, bro? Why don't you tell him why you don't think he ever gonna be treated fair, bro? Go ahead. You got your F1 minute, bro. Go for it.
I don't think he is actually going to be treated fair, because you know why? He's Mexican. Simple as. And Mexicans, we love to party. We love to have fun. And Checo likes to work as a team, but then again, he ain't getting his dues. And I don't see he should stay with that team, because you know what? Checo didn't get that lap time. And as you were just going to say on that thing too as well, I'm glad you actually brought that as a topic, because Checo had that fastest lap. But you get Mr. Greedy tantruming. Go look, yeah, aren't you going to call me into the pits? Come on, I need to change the tires. Look, Max, you're fine, okay? You're okay. No, bring me in. And did what? Rob Checo of the fastest lap. And now sitting glorified, shaking hands, going high five and all that bullshit. Yeah?
Right.
And Checo looks a bit peeved off, but Checo come back, talk with the other two guys in the hot room. But I can tell by Checo's body language, he was thinking, what the fuck had just happened there? All right? Why didn't I not get the fastest lap? Max won. Why didn't I not get the fastest lap? Come on, this is teamwork. It would still make maximum points for the consecutive for the consecutive win. Nah. Not like that.
Boom. Yo, I got to give my brother Uno some shots on that, because that's real. I'm telling you right now. First, we got super chat up in there. We got a super chat up in here. Who we got? Mary Beanie. We got that DG Big Blue. Max is going to what Max is going to do. Red Bull Racing always allows this to happen. Look how they let Max run off Danny Rick. Damn, that's true. Max and his dad run Red Bull Racing. You know what? That's true, man. Hey, DG Big Blue, you ain't lying about that. Jefferson, Checo was checking his 10 million and staying professional. Yeah, Checo was checking his 10 million, and that's part of the problem too, because Checo took 10 million. Are you crazy, Checo? Bro, you shouldn't have had no less than 15 million. No less than 15 million. I'm just saying, 15 million, no less. For the part that you play for Red Bull and what they actually know you do for them, you should have let them go ahead and try to continue on without that. Checo should not make less than 15 million. He better do something about that. OG Zilla says, talking the fastest lap was the 24-second lead Max had on everyone else. I've said it before. I'll say it again. My tinfoil hat still on about Max's car after all these teams. Big upgrades. He's still a whole pissed off hit. Yo, OG Zilla, man, let me give you triple crash for that. Yo, just see, this is why I like this show, and it's why even OG Zilla, if you come on and say that, but to put in the super chat, I gotta go in a little bit more depth to what he's saying. Think about that perspective, that we don't want to be this far out. We just came off a race where we weren't double digits out. Now we're running it up again. Double digits. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves. We know what we have. We know what we can do. Listen, just pull him in fastest lap. Let the rest of the field kind of close up. He'll go bank that out. Kind of take OG's. Hey, I like the perspective. That's what this show's about. Perspective, hunches, whatever you think. That was an awesome one. You know what? That's so awesome that I'm about to poll that. I am about to poll that, OG Zilla. Courtesy of OG Zilla, we're about to have a poll. And that's a good one. Do you think Red Bull Racing pulled Max in to cover up time gap? Right there. There you go. Y'all go ahead, have fun with it. So next person we got coming up on the list for the super chats, we have Spider R35 says Max is the new team principal of Red Bull Racing. Checo is too calm. Max needs a teammate like Nico that will call him out on his red bullshit. That's a fact. And this is why you won't get that. This is why you won't have a driver, even though if Alonso wants to go to Red Bull, they're not going to have it. Max doesn't do well with somebody else who definitely stands up and puts their chest out, because his chest is not that damn tough. It's not. I'm trying to tell you, Max's chest is not that tough. But if you get somebody in there that has that, Max is not going to do well with that. And if you have somebody like Alonso that can definitely race him hard, and Alonso can, it's going to be a problem. Alonso plays that part with Lance because there's no threat there. Lance is more laid back going. Alonso don't have. If Alonso was in there with Max and Max pulled that shit, trust me, as much as they buddy, let's go smell and cut the flowers and the tulips and the roses, Alonso is going to pull up. I'll give Alonso that. He going to pull up. Facts, okay? Believe me. So let's go down. Will I Am just blessed 5 people with Wolfpack memberships. Will I Am. Let me see who got them. Ronald, welcome to the family. Michael Dixon, welcome to the family. Squishy, welcome. Oz, welcome. And CDN, Oliman, welcome to the family. Make sure you get in the Discord group. We're going to have another Wolves Den meet during the whole next week GP. So you want to get in there so you can share your opinion, get in there with your family members and have a good time. And also, I will say this. What did y'all think about the tussle between Perez and Max, and how Max started crying over the radio, and then Checo was like, "What's wrong with Max, man? He don't like it. He don't like being raced hard against. He don't like being squeezed. He don't like being come down on. He don't like that. He ain't like none of that." I loved it. I loved it. And Max showed y'all exactly who he's gonna be with that type of pressure on him. I'm trying to tell you right now. And that was his fault in Monza with that sausage curb. Had he did what he was supposed to do, which was back out because Lewis was clearly ahead of him, that wouldn't have happened. But there's another evidence that the sausage curb, even then, still was a safety risk and in danger. But, you didn't see Max ask about Lewis, and, when he did that, he just, walked off. But Lewis asked about him and the wall at Silverstone. But, hey, I'm just saying that speaks to character and integrity. And I've always told you Max's character and integrity is shit. And that's just real. It's just real. Spider R35, I just wish the wheel gun got stuck. And I know, Spider, I know they were talking about that too, because them guys were like, damn, if he come in here for this fastest lap, and you just see aluminum shavings everywhere, titanium shavings. It's like, oh, shit, we done spun this wheel nut. It's a wrap. That would have been classic. It would have been classic. It would have been jacked up, but it would have been classic. Wildcat say, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Let's go. Bow, Wildcat, you got your F1 minute, bro. I'm a F1 minute. Get it, man.
I swear, me and you had to. It's as if me and you talked before you went live, because I got that in my notes. Max stealing the fastest lap and him not being able to handle his own goddamn medicine. Let's see, where do we start? You constantly got to steal this man. You got to bust this man's chops every chance you get. You can't at least let Checo have some kind of flowers. You was already getting the race win and 25 points. You needed one extra point when you already 60-something points clear this man in the championship? Mm-hmm. What you worried about, Max? Are you scared that that Checo might say fuck it and disobey team orders and do what you do, and come run that 19 right up your behind? I mean, I'm waiting on Checo to do it, and then on top of that, Checo bullies you in the sprint and pushes you off track, but you crying about it. And what does Checo reply? What's Checo's reply? Yo, what's wrong with Max, man?
Fact.
But George put the damn W14 in the side pod in Baku. You cried about it.
Facts.
You mad that that certain drivers on the grid aren't afraid of you like the rest of them.
All right, bro. Let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, man, real quick before I damn go to the next segment. Do you think if Checo leaves, or if they don't sign Checo, do you think that they put a teammate next to Max that is as competitive as Alonso, Lando, or even Lewis Hamilton? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. They won't. They won't.
Okay.
They won't, because I mean, whereas Merck, they saw what developed from having Lewis and Nico in the same machinery. Right. Granted, yeah, that was good for the team as far as constructor, but drivers, that wasn't so good.
Okay.
McLaren noticed the same thing when you had Lewis with Alonso. Lewis wasn't going to back down from Alonso.
Right.
But guess what? McLaren sucked it up and dealt with it. Red Bull, they ain't going to do that. Why? Because they know Max can't handle it. And this man already done went and put hands on another driver throughout his career when
Right.
Ocon did some
In
stuff
Spain.
he didn't like. So,
Spain. Brazil.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, why are you going to go sacrifice another driver's talent to go have to suck up and deal with Max's bullshit
Right.
when you can just leave it to, honestly, what Red Bull need to do is just let Checo go, have one RB19, and that Red Bull team be just Max.
Okay.
If Max and his daddy think he that damn good, let's redo this and put Max against the entire Formula One grid.
All
And then
right.
at that point, let's really see how good Max can be, because now you're going to have 19 drivers, and I'm going to say this, a half a team and 9 other teams, because Checo could be a team by himself.
Right.
Just give him an RB19 on loan.
Okay.
And let's see what Max do when you got 9.5 teams coming at your neck.
All right.
Because-
All right. Appreciate that, brother, man.
And
All
by the
right.
way, fingers crossed I get that purple sector hat, because it would look nice with that purple shirt I already got. So
Got you. Hey, that is a fantasy wish. That is not going to happen. But I think even at this point in time where Max is, not where Max is, but where the RB19 is, courtesy to Adrian Newey and the development engineering team at Red Bull, he might could damn do that even by himself. Now, the constructor might not get it, but he might could do that. That car is that strong. It is literally that strong. All right, here we go. We're about to do wheel spin number 3 to see who the third person is that's going to get a Purple Sector's Lifestyle Collection hat. I'm about to spin this wheel, see who it is, and we are off. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, we got somebody that, hey. Oh my goodness, we got people up here. Let's see. Are they in the chat even? Are they in the chat right now? Let's see if that person is in the chat. If they're in the chat, hopefully, let's see. Who was that? Yes, are they in the chat? No, they're not in the chat. Please, somebody tag them in the chat. If they could, let's see if you could tag them in the chat. So I'm gonna write their name down right here. That is the third person that will receive a Purple Sector's Lifestyle Collection hat. We got a third person. We got one more hat that is going to be given away. One more Purple Sector's Lifestyle hat that is going to be given away. Big shout out. We got 3 people down. One more person to go. If you could, Galacticus, put an @ symbol before that so they can be tagged. If you could, put an @ symbol before that. I would really appreciate it, man. Let me see if I can even take what you got right here and just kind of copy it. Let's see. Boom. Winner number 3. There we go. Winner number 3 right there. All right, so before we're about to go on, I'm going to let Wildcat come on real quick and say what teammate he got. We're going to go into our final segment there, Wildcat, and then we're going to do our final also wheel spin to see who that fourth and last person is. Wildcat, who's that teammate real quick, my brother?
All right, so, and Alex just kind of put this in the chat, and I didn't think about this, and I thought about it for 2 seconds, and I understand why. Let's take Checo out the RB19 and put Yuki in that seat with Max. Why? Think about Yuki's temper.
Yuki's temper, his temperament,
Yuki's temper is ruthless, just like Max.
They just drove monster trucks together.
When he gets fired up,
yeah,
it takes a lot to calm him down, just like Max. So you let Yuki's temper fly off against Max, guess what? You got a Lewis and Nico situation, but guess what? Now Max dealing with the same devil that he is. Now he looking in the mirror at a Japanese version of himself. Can he handle it? Probably wouldn't.
Probably would. Hey, I agree with that. I got a better teammate for Max. Russell.
Russell would be an awesome teammate for Max. Russell, go to Red Bull, drive the RB19 right next to Max. Oh my gosh, be great. I don't want a toxic situation there. I just want somebody there that can demand the respect because the mechanic, big shout out in the super chat says, I refuse. We need a do-over. Big Bro Wolf capping with this one is a scam. He said Big Bro cap with it's a scam. Oh my gosh. So yeah, listen, we honestly, the mechanic, if I don't win the next one, I'm bringing it to the FIA Aston Martin style snitch gang for life. You should have put snitch gang for life. Oh my goodness. Hey, so we got hold on, I'm gonna bring my brother Will on real quick. He wants to come in and then we will go into our final segment. So WPPN, go ahead and tell us what you got on the wrap up.
All right, so just wanted to close out on some topics that we've been discussing throughout the whole entire segment and all that. So going back to the Austria GP, we're going to go and touch on Blue's Kitty Litter Corner, which you came up with. So we just discussed the people that actually got caught out there. We got De Vries that was caught out there. We got K-Mag that was caught out there. We got Yuki that was caught out there. And we also want to give a shout out to Jay for the spin cam, with Bottas getting the spin cam and sending out the red flag way earlier on this weekend, so we make sure that we shout out to him for that. We also want to do a shout out for lap 35 game of DRS chicken between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, which we thought after that whole entire thing in Jeddah from 2022 that might have been something that was kind of far gone. They started adjusting the DRS zones and all that,
right.
But apparently that was still coming back. So again, shout out to DRS Chicken for coming in there on that sponsorship or making sure that we knew that happened on lap 35. And also the Leclerc watch. So let's give you some updates on that.
What's up with the Leclerc watch? What we got?
So we're looking at Arthur still sitting at 36 points. He got 13th in the sprint and retired in the feature race, so he got no points. And he's still 14th in the standings. And then we have Charles with 72 points. So this is a good weekend for him. 12th in the sprint, no points there, but then second in the race. So now he moves up to 6th in the standings and now has a podium up on his brother. So he has 2 podiums, and then Arthur has still 1. So we're looking at that. We've got the penalty points paddock. So let's see who's losing points. Gasly's losing 3 points. He's still at the top of the list with 8, but he loses 3 points if he doesn't get into trouble at Silverstone. You got Russell that'll lose 2 points. He has 6. Now he'll lose those at Silverstone if he doesn't get in any trouble. Yuki Tsunoda, he lost 2 points. So he is now currently at 3 points. That's good. Stroll still sitting at 5. Alonso at 2. Albon, he could lose 2 points to have him with 1 left. That'll be at Silverstone as well. You got Joe that'll lose 2 points. That'll put him at 1. Norris will lose a point. So that'll put him at 2. And the rest of the pack pretty much stays the same. And again, for the rookie roundtable, we've got to take a look at that. And Piastri, sitting, your boy Pia, sitting at P14 with 5 points. He was 16th in the main race. De Vries, he moves down to 20th. Still has 0 points because he finished 17th. And then my boy Logan Sargent finished P13, moves up to P19. So shout out to him for moving up from 20th to P19. Him and De Vries switch positions, sitting there trying to pull that Williams over the finish line. De Vries, I don't know what's going on with this dude. He can't get any worse than this. P20. That's our WPPN wrap up.
Thank you so much, brother, man. Big shout out to you on your rookie, bro. Coming for you this coming up week, though. Hey, man, you better show up and kick back quality trivia. They getting real about you, man. Woo, they getting real about that. They bringing that smoke, bro.
It's getting spicy.
It's getting spicy.
This is getting crazy. Everybody's upgrading to 6G, 7G. I don't know. They're using Google, Ask Jeeves. I don't know what's going on.
I'm trying to tell you.
They're all types of things. But hey, you got to bring the upgrades. This is what Formula One's all about. You got to bring the upgrades. You got to bring the innovation.
True.
You can't just go in there and just think you're going to do this on just like, on a whim. You got to bring some things, bring some tech, some innovation. And I see, everyone's stepping up their game. So
yeah.
It goes.
Hey, you think you could just climb in the box because you... Hey, I'm trying to tell you, it's some real competition at Quality Kickback Trivia. I'm not lying. This weekend was crazy. It was crazy. So big shout out to the Chaos Druid. Came out of like nowhere and nailed it back to back to get the 25 Visa gift card that's going to be sent out to them this coming up week. So big shout out to them. Also, like we said, Spider R35, new VIP member. Big shout out to them. And also, we have one more person we're going to spin this wheel, see if they get the hat. But first, we got to talk about, is Ferrari back? Do y'all think Ferrari is making a comeback, or was this just like, this is track specific? Is it
They kind of finally got the cars right. The updates are now showing to be upgrades. Ferrari's kind of getting their footing back. Or is it just a random blip of shine that's just not going to happen again? When we not see Ferrari back there, it looked like to me Ferrari and McLaren might be gaining some strength. But like I said, for Mercedes, I need to see Canada and I need to see Austria. Austria was a step back from Mercedes. And like I said, I hope that this step back was more of a setup issue than a development issue, a development problem, right? Than a setup problem, because problems can be solved. But either way it goes, if it's a setup problem, then that's cool. That's something that, hey, we set the car up wrong. We'll get it right next time, and we'll definitely get it right going forward. If it's a development problem, that's a little bit more research and depth investigation. What is not right with the car for this type of track, and what kind of other tracks are similar to this track that we're not going to be able to perform well on. It's a whole different thing. So is Ferrari in that same boat? How do you feel about Carlos asking for team orders in a non-verbal way? Carlos was asked, how do you feel about the pace? Carlos said, I don't think I need to say anything. You see it. You see what's going on. That's how I like for drivers to be. Don't call asking for team orders. Get up on the rear bumper, get up on the gearbox of the driver and be like, hey, you see what's going on here, right? What we doing? What we doing? Hey, I'm going around. Go around. Fight for it, right? But, oh, it's a blip, Wildcat says. Wildcat says it's a blip. All right, here we go, brother. You got your 60 seconds, man. Lay it down.
All right. Reason I say it's a blip is because look at last year. Leclerc won,
Yep,
but
true.
Ferrari got it right.
True.
And that was also a sprint weekend. Ferrari in sprints and sprint weekends has shown that they can be a strong competitive team. For whatever reason, they just, I don't know why, they just seem to get it right. I guess, lack of prep time and, a lot of critical thinking, they actually got it right. But when they get too much time, they overthink and fuck their own strategy, fuck their own drivers, fuck the car, they fuck it all up. But when it comes to Leclerc is also very good when it comes to Austria. Lewis has only won Austria. How many times? Twice. How many times has Lewis won at other tracks? 8 times.
Multiple, right.
On pole in some tracks. This man is closing in on double digits at other track wins, whereas Austria, that's probably one of Lewis's weaker tracks. That's one of Mercedes's weaker tracks. Aston Martin didn't do well at Austria either. They've been running up in the front, near the front most of the season. Alonso been on podium damn near every race, but now he wasn't in Austria. That's just a blip for Ferrari. I don't believe they got it together yet.
All right. My bro says it's a blip. Wildcat says it's a blip. I'm kind of thinking it's a blip too. I'm with Wildcat on that one. Yeah, I think it's a blip. I don't think it's, if it's not a blip, we'll see. I'm all for being proven wrong. I'm all for, but I did say I would like to see Charles on podium in Austria, and he got it. He didn't get the win, but that also may be evidence that it is a blip, right? Consecutive progress at Austria while you suffer and struggle everywhere else, that might be evidence that it is a blip. So yeah, I guess that is a problem. But if we look at the race, the quali results, I think he was about 4/10 off of Max. But then before Canada, he was like a second and a half off Max. So I'm trying to give Ferrari a chance, and I'm going to wait to make my determination and on a whole about whether they're going forward or not. I'm leaning toward a blip, but I'm hoping it's not a blip. I am hoping Ferrari's coming online to be highly competitive, but nobody, I don't believe this season is going to be as competitive or develop as much to rival the RB19. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think you all just going to have to settle in, get cozy, enjoy GP weekends, understand what you're going to see going in and coming out. I understand some people like, I don't want to watch this type of racing, but this happens. Like, this happens in sports. We don't like it, but it happens. So at this point in time, it just is what it is. Let's just roll with the punches and try to enjoy what we can from the sport and enjoy what we can see, and try to look at some other things in the sport, like developments, updates. Check out some of the other teams that you usually don't look into, like Williams, Alpine, Haas. Check out some of these teams, see what's going on with those. Kind of familiarize yourself with like other things around the grid, just besides like the team and drivers that you support. Just to look into some other things, like, you know, find something else to be interested about this season that you might be a little bit more fond about, learn about during out the course of the season, and go for that. That's what I say. Like, that's the best thing to do. Don't leave the sport, because honestly, we need you in the sport. Like, spectators, viewers, viewership is needed for the sport, right? It's needed for the sport environment as spectators to commune, to debate, to talk. Now, we got some trash out there, but you got trash everywhere. We got trash in the comment sections that come and lay trash, and we got trash in people that come into the live chat sometime, and sometimes they have to subscribe to just come drop their trash. You're going to have trash even in some of the high utmost communities and townhomes and skyscrapers and buildings and offices. You got trash everywhere. You're going to have rats and roaches everywhere. You could drop a nuclear bomb, roaches will survive. These roaches that lay hate and racism and homophobic slogans, they're going to be out there. You're not going to get rid of that. So just understand that and just kind of try to see what else you're going to do. So now, last but not least, we are about to spin this wheel for our final person, our number 4 person that is going to receive a Purple Sectors Collection hat. All right, we're about to spin this wheel and see who that person is. I'm going to spin it, and let's get ready. Let's go. Mr. Cedric! Mr. Cedric, the entertainer. Mr. Cedric is our 4th person. Big shout out to Mr. Cedric. Make sure you get with me. If you're not in the Discord, if you're not a family member, then make sure you get with me on some social media platform. Prove that it is you, and then I will get your address and you can send out the hat, because not everybody that is winning tonight is a member of the family or the channel. Some people were just there participating at the live event, and they were giving their answers, and they were or dropping super chats, and so therefore they were eligible to win a Purple Sectors Lifestyle Collection hat. Nice embroidery right there. You see it? Like, look at that. That's nice. All right, designed by me. Big love for that. It is trademarked, so you know, going on for that, but it is what it is. So yes, big shout out. I wrote Mr. Cedric down. So the winners of today, number 4 is Mr. Cedric. Number 3 is Tuyo Oyo 1. Number 2 is Sylvia Witt Kelly, and number 1 is 70 Dodge Man. Those are our 4 winners of Purple Sectors Lifestyle hats. They will be sent in Alpha Swag bags right here. You can see the hats in there. You will have those hats sent to you free of charge. Just make sure you reach out to me, give me your address. So once again, winners tonight of 4 Purple Sector Lifestyle hats, 70 Dodge Man. If you are not in the family, that means you're not in the Discord. Find out how to get in touch with me. Social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, okay? TikTok. Get with me at F1 Minute on TikTok, Wolfpack Performance, or get with me on IG, Wolfpack Performance, or F1 Minute, preferably F1 Minute. That is more of the social media platform that's for the motorsports. I'm trying to separate those. Or get with me on Twitter. Or if you're in the Wolfpack family, you should be able to get into the Discord and drop me a DM. Spider R35 says, Jay, that was half and half on me. Cedric's on me, Cedric's name. Spider R35, you already getting a hat in your VIP box, bro. Self-made maintenance says, big ups Wolfpack family. I need the W15 to be right. They're ready to fight for wins. Team LH44, still we rise. That's a big fact. Big fact on that. So listen, I'm loving it. Wildcat coming to Silver Song and another blip. I'm gonna let Wildcat get off real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and exit out of here. I got some grass to go cut. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Wildcat, go ahead, man. Real quick, what you got, brother?
All right, so another blip, I'm going to say McLaren. Why? Because Piastri's been making inroads all season. And, you know, he actually delivering on what people say he could do. But, you know, he showed this in the lower, you know, formula categories. But you just gave this man the update, but all of a sudden, you know, Lando's up here, you know, fighting with top fives when they ain't been there all year. But Piastri's sitting here way back down the grid, almost in the nosebleeds. But aside from that, Silverstone will tell the tale on this. Okay. And the reason I say this is Pirelli's bringing a new tire. Okay. That new tire is supposed to make the front end of a car stronger. Okay. Why do you need to make the front end of the car stronger unless you're trying to help Red Bull? because Max loves a very, very strong front-ended car.
Okay.
Lewis likes a strong front end, but the W14 has to get that rear end straight again. Could the floor help that when they bring that to Silverstone? Yeah, probably. And then
Okay.
on top of that, they also gonna wet up part of. They also gonna intentionally wet part of the track with sprinklers, hoses, whatever, because they bring in this new wheel arch thing that's supposed to help increase visibility in wet weather. That's gonna add more drag to a car. Could that be a stumble in Red Bull's case? Maybe, because then they got to rethink on how they gonna offset for that. But I don't think these wheel arches are gonna help that. That's like putting mud flaps on an 18 wheeler. We see how that pays off, right? You still get a face full of spray all going up way, or even when you just going 45 miles an hour behind one.
All right.
I just don't see it.
Big shout out. Okay. Oh my gosh. The sarcasm is so real. That was so real. Bro's like real on the sarcasm. You're like, yeah, I don't see that shit happening and helping nobody. So listen, big shout out. Thank you everybody for joining. Listen, 4 people that won tonight, winners of the wheel spin for the Purple Sector's lifestyle hats. Once again, that is Sylvia with Kelly, 70 Dodge Man, Toyoyo 2, Oyo 1, and Mr. Cedric. All right. So listen, everybody, tomorrow is a holiday in more places. I don't know about overseas. 4th of July is tomorrow. I want you all to be safe. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drive and drink. Hand somebody else those keys. And please eat, enjoy yourself, enjoy family. If you work a lot and work all the time, take some time, some downtime if you can for yourself tomorrow and just relax. Sometime doing nothing is doing something for us who work consistently. I know I get up at 3 a.m. and do my thing here and work out. So with that being said, big shout out to everybody that's getting Purple Sector lifestyle hats. If you want one, you didn't get one tonight, you can go ahead to the Wolfpack Alpha Swag shop and pick you up one. Peace and love to everybody. We out. All right.